Okay, we are in actuating systems. I have already completed pneumatic and hydraulic actuating systems and its components and different types of control valves. Okay, and a few more topics in this fluid systems is there. In today's class, we will complete those topics. Okay, okay. Let us start with solenoid operating valve. In previous class, I explained about the working of solenoid valve. Once again, I will repeat what is solenoid valve. Okay, solenoid valve is electrically operated fluid control valve. Solenoid valve is a electrically controlled fluid control valve. Here, this is the construction of the solenoid valve. See this? Here we have a switch. Okay, if you actuate this switch, which means if you make contact these two leads, okay, that applies current to this solenoid. This is the solenoid, means wire, wounding wire. Okay, the operation of this switch causes flow of current to this solenoid. Solenoid is activated. Okay, that solenoid generates some electromagnetic force. Because of this electromagnetic force, the armature in between the solenoid is moving. Means the electromagnetic force caused by the solenoid drives the armature. Okay, and this armature is connected to the valve stem, which is opening or closing the ports of the valve. Suppose if you cut off this power, means if you remove this contact, okay, automatically the solenoid is deactivated and the armature restores its position with the help of restoring spring. If there is a spring is there, it restores the position of the armature, means it pulls the armature to back. Okay, if you switch on if there is a contact, solenoid activated, that causes it generates some electromagnetic force that causes the movement of the armature. If you power of the contact is removed, automatically it is de-energized and the armature is restores its position with the help of spring. In this way, the solenoid valve is operating. Okay, now we see the symbols of solenoid valve. Okay, this is the symbol for solenoid valve. Okay, there is a rectangle and a cross line is there and two leads is there. If you in any circuit, in pneumatic or hydraulic circuit, if a symbol is like this, means it represents the solenoid valve. See this for better explanation. This is the solenoid valve. Okay, here this is the solenoid, this is the armature. This green color is the armature between the solenoid. This armature is connected to the stem of the valve. This is the stem of the valve, and the movement of the stem causes the opening and closing of the valves. Okay, if it is a de-energized position, means initially it is not active. Okay, if you supply the power to this solenoid, that causes electromagnetic force, okay, that moves the armature towards right. Okay, now the armature moves towards right. Okay, the stem which is connected to this armature is also moved along with this armature. So the stem is moved like this, means the port 1 is connected to 4 is the outlet port, 1 is the pressure port, and port 2 is connected to 3. Okay, in this way it operates. Suppose if you de-energize this solenoid and armature again restores its position with the help of spring and the stem moves leftwards, means again we get this position. Okay, this is the off position of the solenoid valve and this is the on position of the solenoid valve. Means here the opening and closing of the valves is done with the help of solenoid. means electrical power. So this is the pilot, means this is called pilot valve because the opening and closing is done with the help of a pilot valve. Here the pilot valve is solenoid valve. Here solenoid valve is act as a pilot valve. Pilot is nothing but the valve which is operating the, which is opening or closing the valves, pneumatic valve or hydraulic valve. So in this way, the opening and closing of the ports is done with the help of solenoid. Okay, I think you can understand. This is the initial position. This is the operating position. This is the off position. Means this solenoid, if you supply the power, the armature moves rightwards. Along with the armature, the stem also moves and change the position of the valve opening, port opening and closing. In this way, the solenoid valve is working. Is it clear? I think. Next one, electronic sensors. Electronic sensors in fluid systems also we are using some sensors for finding the position of the piston in the actuator. You know, actuator means is the assembly of piston and cylinder. Sometimes we need to find the position of the piston, where the piston in the cylinder, initial position or final position, at middle or at any position, we need to find the position of the piston. For that purpose, we are using the sensors. Okay, here we are using some sensors, induction sensor, capacitance sensor, and infrared light sensors. Already we have seen the working of these sensors in first unit. So no need of explanation for that. Okay, and here sensors also used for switching function. Means they send the signals for on or off of the switches of the actuator. Okay, means according to the information sent by the sensors, we can off or on the switch. Okay, so for that purpose also we are using sensors. The basic sensors used in fluid systems are induction, capacitance, and infrared light sensors. And here one more thing is used for finding the position of the piston, that is electrical limit switch. Limit switch is used for finding the position of the piston. Okay, and also used for switch off, on or off of the system. Okay, now we see these are symbols for the electrical sensors. Okay, this is the inductive sensor. Okay, this is the capacitive sensor, and this is the optical sensor. Okay, these are the symbols for the sensor. These sensors are used for finding the position of the piston in the actuator. Okay, and also for using the switching operations. And second one is limiting switch. Limiting switch is also used for finding the position of the piston, and also on or off switches. Okay, now limiting switch is operated with the help of cam. This is a cam. Okay, if the projection, okay, projection causes the on or off of the switch. Okay, so you know cam position. Okay, sometimes the position is extended, sometimes it is lower. Okay, you know dwell and peak. Okay, if you get peak position, that presses the switch and it ons the switch. Okay, on or off of the switch is caused by the cam. These are called limiting switches. Okay, by using these limiting switches, we can find the position of the piston, because you know cam, this cam rotation of the cam is automatically is connected to the actuator that will decide the position of the piston. At the same time, on or off of the switches, these are used as automatic on or off switches. Okay, these switches are operated with the help of cam. Okay, this cam causes contact and disconnect of the switches. This is the spring. Okay, this is always open position. The closing is done with the help of cam. These are called limiting switches. These are also components of the electro-pneumatic system. Next, and one more component in electro-pneumatic system, that is pneumatic electric converter, PE converter, pneumatic electric converter. Here the pneumatic signal is converted into electrical signal. See this? This is the symbol. Here we have a switch. Okay, here we are supplying air. Okay, the switch is set at some preset pressure. Suppose the switch is set at 4 bar pressure. Means up to 4 bar we are supplying air. The air is applies some pressure on this switch. If the pressure reaches the 4 bar, okay, it moves the switch and it closes. Okay, the closes means the switch is on, means the electrical signal is generated. Means if electrical signal is generated means the pressure is reached to the 4 bar. Okay, in that way the pneumatic signal is converted into electrical signal. So here the PE converter is set at certain pressure. Okay, up to that pressure the switch is off position. If the pressure is reached to that preset pressure, it operates, the switch is on, so electrical signal is sending to the system. Means means we are getting the preset pressure what we need for the operating of system. Okay, in this way we can convert the pneumatic pressure into electrical signal. That is called pneumatic electric converter. Okay, see this, the air is supplying air. Okay, the air is applying pressure on this switch at certain pressure. At what pressure we need to operate this switch, at that pressure the switch is moved and it is contacted to this terminal, then the switch is in on position, that generates electrical signal. Okay, these are all are the components of the electro-pneumatic system. Electro-pneumatic system, up to now we have seen all components which are used in the electro-pneumatic system. Okay, next topic is circuits. Okay, we have seen the systems and now we see the circuits. How circuits are now we see the circuits of the pneumatic and hydraulics. Okay, how circuits are represented. Okay, first of all, in any circuit, hydraulic circuit or pneumatic circuit, numbering system is very, very important. Okay, circuit is nothing but is the graphical representation. Okay, symbolic representation of the system is nothing but circuit. Okay, now we see some hydraulic and pneumatic circuits. In first topic in this is numbering system. For any circuit, numbering system is very, very important for direction control valves. Now we see the numbering system. This is the standard numbering system. Okay, you know, pressure port means we are lettering system and numbering system. We have two types of systems is there. Okay, here number one means pressure port. In any valve, any circuit, if there is one in valve, that means that represents the pressure port. Means it is connected to the pump or compressor. Okay, 3 means exhaust port. Means the air is or fluid or liquid is leaving the circuit, that is exhaust port. Okay, 5 also exhaust port. Okay, in lettering system we are using R, return port. R means RRS. We are using RRS as a return ports. Okay, in lettering system RRS represents the return ports, means the fluid is returning from the actuator. Okay, and signal ports, to and fro are signal ports, or BR, AR, output ports are signal ports. These are connected to the actuators. Okay, next pilot lines. Pilot line means 12 or ZY. These are the letter representation of the pilot ports, or 1, 2 or 12 or 14 like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4. These are the pilot ports. The representation of pilot ports means the circuit, these numbers in the circuit represents this type of ports. According to numbers we can identify the ports, different types of ports. Okay, and numbering system for energy supply, there is a zero number means energy supply. Okay, we are supplying some energy. Working groups means 1, 2, 3 like this. We have numbering. According to numbering we can identify the different types of parts in the circuit. Okay, this is very, very important. Once you check this number system, okay, later, okay, this numbering system is very important to identify the different ports in the circuit diagram. Now is the diagrams. Before going to the circuit diagram, see here we have two types of circuits: direct control circuits and indirect control system. Means we are actuators are controlled by direct control or indirect control. Pilot control, indirect control is nothing but pilot control. Now we see both direct and indirect control. First we see the direct control of the single acting cylinder. See this, Already I have explained about actuators, single acting, single cylinder and double cylinder type. This is the single cylinder actuator. Okay, this is the direct control type. See this. Here we have a direction control valve. Okay, A is the outlet port, R is the return port, P is the pressure port. Okay, now we are directly applying the force, means we can operate this system with little force. Little force is enough for operating this system. We are using direct control. Just push this button. Okay, if you push this button, this port A is connected to P. Okay, now the fluid is flowing from P to A, means the fluid is entering into the cylinder and the piston is moving extended towards right. Okay, now it is in actuation position. Okay, again you push this button. Okay, then the A port is connected to return port, means the fluid from the cylinder is removed and the piston is retract to the its original before beginning position by use with the help of spring. Means the piston rightward movement and leftward movement is done with the help of this direction control valve. The direction control valve is operated with the help of a push button, means the direct control. We can push this button again and again, and we can change the position of the extension and retraction of the piston is done with the help of push button. Means this direct control is used when the force required for the operating of valve is less. Okay, next. See this. This is the circuit diagram. This is the schematic diagram type. Okay. Now we see the circuit. What is circuit? Circuit means is the symbolic representation of the system. Okay. This is the representation of single cylinder. Okay. Symbol for single cylinder actuator. This is the symbol for a direction control valve. Okay. This is the push button. Okay. This is the pressure port. This circle is a representation of pump, and this is a representation of sink. Okay, this is the return port. This is A port. Here spring means this one is direction valve is operated by the help of spring. This is the pneumatic circuit or circuit. Next one, indirect control. Control means suppose we need more force to operate the valve. Okay, by manual we can't operate the valve. Then we need some auxiliary power to operate the valve. Then the control is called indirect control, means we need one more system to control the valve. Okay, see this here. We need to move this spool in between this. So the movement of this spool causes the opening and closing of the ports. Okay, now A and R are connected and B and P are connected. If you move this stem, okay, to leftward, and A, P are connected and B, S are connected. So we need to move this stem, but manually we can't move this stem because we need more force. In that case, we are using some pilot. Okay, pilot force. Okay, that is maybe air or electrical energy or pneumatic energy is required to move this valve. Okay, then the valve is controlled by some pneumatic power or electrical power. So such type of control is called indirect control. So here this valve is controlled by some air, pneumatic power. So pilot air. This is called indirect control. Now you see the indirect control of the single acting cylinder. See this. This is the single acting cylinder is controlled by indirect control. See this. This is the direction control valve. Here we don't have any push button because we need more energy force to operate this valve. For that purpose, we are arranging a separate circuit. This is the pneumatic circuit, okay, special circuit. The main purpose of this valve is to operate the main valve. Okay, the opening and closing of the main valve is done with the help of pilot valve. Okay, this pilot valve is operated with the help of pneumatic. Okay, we are sending the air from the pilot valve, okay, in this direction and in this direction. Reverse means the opening and closing of this, the spool between the valve is moved with the help of this valve. Okay, here the main valve is controlled by pilot valve. This main valve may be pneumatic or hydraulic, whatever it is. the operation of valve is done with the help of pilot valve. Okay, here already I told Z means indicates the pilot port. Okay, A means output port, P is pressure port, R is the return port. Okay, this is the air service unit. Because this is a pneumatic circuit, that's why we are using air service unit. Means the main valve is operated with the help of this pilot valve. This is called indirect control of the single acting cylinder. Okay, and we have one more type of pilot valve. Means in previous case we are using pneumatic power for operating the main valves. Here we are using electrical force. Okay, electricity to operate the main. Electrical energy means solenoid valve. Solenoid valve is used to operate the valve. Already I have explained the solenoid valve. See this. Okay, here we are not operating the valve by manual. We are operating the valve with the help of electrical energy. Okay, the energy is the solenoid that moves the valve leftward and the moves the valve stem leftward and rightward with the help of armature. So here this is the pilot valve. Means indirectly we are operating. We are not operating direct by manual. So here we are using energy, electrical energy to operate the valve. Okay, so this is called indirect control. So indirect control, here the indirect control is done with the help of solenoid valve. In previous case, pneumatic power is used to operate the main valve. Here the main valve is operated with the help of electrical energy. This is called indirect control of the system. This is the electrical circuit of the electrical circuit. Here switch 1, if you operate the switch 1, that operates the K1. K1 is the coil, means solenoid. Okay, that will moves the armature leftward and rightward. That may activate the direction control valve. Okay, that is the single acting cylinder. Now we see the double acting cylinder. Okay, in double acting cylinder, this is the push direct control of the double acting cylinder. Now we see this. 1 minute. Somebody is waiting. No one is there. Okay. See this. Up to now, we have seen the direct and indirect control of the single acting cylinder. Now we see the direct and indirect control of the double acting cylinder. So here the fluid is entering both either side of the piston. Here the movement of the fluid to rightward chamber or leftward chamber is decided by the ports A and B and P and R. Okay, those are altered by with the help of push button. Okay, by pushing this button we can change the direction of the fluid. Okay, now A and R are connected, P and B are connected. If you push this button, okay, P and A are connected and B and R are connected. So here the control of the valve is done with the help of push button. Now we will see the circuit. This is the circuit of the double acting cylinder, direct control of the double acting cylinder. By pushing the buttons we can change the directions. Based on that, the piston is moving leftward and rightward, means extension and retraction of the piston is done with the help of a push button. This is called direct control valve. Now we see the indirect control valve. Indirect control valve means for controlling the main valve we need an auxiliary valve. This is pilot valve. So this is the pneumatic pilot valve. Okay, by using this pilot valve we can control the direction control valve. Okay, the operation of the direction control valve is done with the help of this pilot valve. With the help of air force, we are changing the positions of this direction control valve. And one more pilot valve is nothing but solenoid valve. With the help of solenoid valve, we can control the main valve. Okay, we have two types of indirect control valves, that is pilot valves, pneumatic pilot valve and solenoid valves. By using these two valves, we can control the main direction control valve of hydraulic circuit or pneumatic circuit, whatever it is. Okay. Next, we see the logical controlling. We have different types of logics are used for systems operating the systems. Okay. Here we have two logics, logic and unlogic and OR logic. Now we see the unlogic. See this. This is the piston. The piston is moving. This is the actuator. the actuator is operated with the help of direction control valve. This direction control valve is operated with the help of two valves. Here we have two valves. Okay. Here we have a logic. This is unlogic. Unlogic means if you send the air through these two valves, okay, A, suppose this is A, this is B, okay. If you send the air from both A and B, then only the air is sending to this valve and the actuator is working. Means we need the signals from this 1.2 valve and 1.4 valve, then only we can operate the 1.1 valve. Okay, means the pump, the actuator is working when the two air lines supply the air. Means this is called unlogic. Okay, we need the signal from this valve and this valve also. When the two signals are received, then only it sends the signals to direction control valve that operates the actuator. This is called unlogic. Okay, this is pneumatic type unlogic. Means air sending in two directions. We can give the signals to the valve. And this same unlogic is done with the help of solenoid valve. See this, here we have two switches, S2 and S1. Both are connected in series. If you close the two switches, then only solenoid means coil is actuated. Okay. If you closing of one switch, there is no sending of signal to the other side. So in this way also we can apply the unlogic. Okay, this is the unlogic with the help of pneumatic circuits, and this is unlogic with the help of solenoid, means electrical circuit. Next one, OR logic. OR logic means, see this here, this is the logic of OR. Either one signal is enough to operate this actuator, means either from this signal from this valve or this valve, one signal, one is enough, either A or B is enough to operate this valve. This is called OR logic. Okay, here one valve is closed. Okay, we are getting signal from this valve. So still the actuator is working. Suppose this valve is closed and we are getting input signal from this valve, then also the actuator is working. Means either one signal A or B is enough to operate the valve. This is called OR logic. These logics are very important while operating this system in automatic manner. Okay, this is about unlogic and OR logic. Okay, we can apply this OR logic with the help of electrical circuit also. In that case, these S1, S2 switches are connected in parallel. These S1, S2 switches are connected in parallel. Here for unlogic, these are connected in series. Okay, this is about unlogic and OR logic circuits. Okay, see this in circuits. Here push, this represents push button. This represents the pedal type of operation. Pedal type of operation. According to symbols, we can understand the circuit. Application of pressure sequence valve. Application of pressure sequence valve. I have already explained the pressure sequence valve in yesterday class. Okay, once again I will explain. Somebody calling. Okay, 1 minute. Hello? Hello, anyone? Please respond.
Sir, చెప్పండి sir.
Hello, please unmute. Signal బానే ఉందిగా?
Yes sir, బానే ఉంది sir.
Hello?
Problem లేదు sir.
Problem ఏం లేదుగా? Okay, ఎవరో okay, thank you. Okay, now we see the pressure sequence valve. Suppose when we are performing two operations in sequence, then we are using pressure sequence valve. This is the symbol for pressure sequence valve. See this, here we have two actuators, A and B. Okay, these are operated. First A is operated. After completion of operation of A, then the operation of B started. Okay, we are pushing the workpiece in two directions. First horizontal direction, then vertical direction, we are pressing this workpiece. In this case, we are using pressure sequence valve. Okay, now we see the operation of pressure sequence valve. Now we are supplying the air. Okay, here this valve is operated with the help of indirect or direct control. Here we have two symbols, Z and Y. Z and Y are representing pilot. So this is the indirect control valve. Suppose here we have a push button or pedal button, that is direct control. Based on that, we can understand the control, indirect control or direct control, whatever it is. Now we see the working of pressure sequence. Here we have two actuators. First A is operated. After completion of A, B is started. Now we see, first we are supplying the air to A. Okay, now the air is moving to the chamber of the A, and the piston is moving towards right, and it is pressing the workpiece towards right. Okay, once the piston reaches its extreme position to the right side, okay, still we are supplying the air. Still we are supplying the air. There is no possibility to move the air here, so the pressure of the air is increasing. The pressure of the air is increasing because already the piston is at extreme position. So here in this line, the pressure is increasing at certain pressure. Okay, we are setting here a valve. Okay, this is the operated at certain pressure only. Suppose 5 bar. Suppose 5 bar. Up to 5 bar, the valve is closed. After the pressure in the line reaches the 5 bar, it opens. Then the air is sending to cylinder B. Okay, then this piston is moving downwards and pressing the workpiece. Okay, means the sequence of operations are done with the help of pressure by presetting the pressure. That's why it is called pressure sequence valve. Pressure sequence valve. Okay, now I will explain once again. First, we are sending air to the cylinder A. Okay, the air moving the piston towards right. The workpiece is moving rightward. Okay, still we are continuing the supply of air. So the air is, there is no way for the air to move. So automatically we are sending more air in the less volume, means pressure is increases. Okay, here we have a pressure valve, pressure preset valve. Here we are setting the pressure, preset pressure. Up to that pressure, the valve is closed position. Okay, once the pressure in the line reaches the more than the preset pressure, it moves against the spring and it opens. Okay, here spring is set the force at preset pressure. Once the pressure is increasing more than preset pressure, it pushes the spring and it opens. Now it sends the air to B. Okay, now the piston is moving downwards and presses the workpiece. Okay, means first the A is operated, then after completion of A, B is operated. Automatically A and B are operated in sequence manner. Here the main parameter to maintain the sequence is pressure. That's why it is called pressure sequence valve. Pressure sequence valve. Next one. What is the time now? It's okay, 11:37. So next one is cylinder sequencing or cascade control. Okay, cylinder sequencing means suppose we are using multi-cylinders. Okay, if we are maintaining this sequence in multi-cylinders, okay, we are using some cylinder sequencing, that is called cascade control. Cascade control means it's successive operations, means first we complete one operation, then follow second operation, then follow second operation, next operation, means we are following such certain sequence. Okay, this sequence is required for multi-cylinder circuits. Okay, then we are following the cascade control. Now we see the control. Here we are grouping. Okay, see this. Suppose here we have two ports A and B. We have two cylinders. Okay, we have two ports A and B, and plus means for extension means extension of the cylinders. Minus means we are retracting the cylinder, means removing the cylinder. Now we see the circuit for explaining the cascade control. See this. Here we are operating two cylinders A and B, okay, in a sequence manner. Okay, here we are grouping group 1 and group 2. Group 1 is linked with S1 line and group 2 is linked with S2 line. Okay, first if you press the valve, start the valve, and it operates the A0 valve. It pushes the first valve. Now the signal is going to the S1 and S1 to cylinder A. Cylinder A. Now the cylinder A is, the piston is moving rightwards, means it is extended. Okay, the extension of this cylinder moves, operates the A1. Operates the A1 valve. Okay, where is the A1? Here it is the A1. There is a push button here. This push button is pushed with the help of cylinder of the actuator A. Okay, then it is pushed, means this valve is opened. Already the air is in S1 line. The air is through S1 line, it is moving towards this valve and it is moved to the cylinder B. Now the B cylinder is extended. Okay, the extension of cylinder, there is a B1 here, the push one B1 pusher is push switch is there. So the movement of the piston in the valve B pushes the B1 switch. Where is the B1? Here is the B1. Means now B1 is operated. Now B1 is operated. Now the B1 is connected to S2 line. The B1 is connected to S2 line. Okay. Now the S2 line causes the removes the air from the this cylinder. Means now the operation means extension in previous case. Now retraction is there. Now the retraction is there. It releases the A1 valve. It releases the A1 valve. Automatically the restriction of B also there. Means the extension and retraction of the cylinders A and B is followed in a particular sequence with the help of cascaded circuit diagram. Cascaded circuit diagram. Okay, I will once again, I will explain. Please listen carefully. Here the operations are following in a sequence. First, foremost, start the circuit by operating start switch. Okay, now the air is moving towards A0. A0 is operated. Okay, now the fluid is, means air is moving to the S1 circuit, S1 group. Okay, now through S1 the air is moving towards cylinder A. Okay, now the cylinder A is operated. Okay, the air which is entering into the cylinder A, it moves the piston towards right. Okay, the rightward movement of the piston pushes the button A1. Where is the A1? Here is the A1 switch. Means the switch button of the A1 valve is operated by the actuator piston A. So the piston of actuator A operates the switch of the valve A1. Now the air from the S1 is entering into the B. Now the piston of the B is moving and it pushes the button B1. B1, where is the B1? Here is the B1. Means B1 is operated. Okay, now the air is moving towards S2 group. Okay, now retraction of piston means the air is moving towards rightward chamber. Okay, and A1 is released. A1 is released means, okay, now the piston, here the air is moving rightwards. Means the leftward and rightward movement of the A and B are follows a sequence. Okay, this is called cascaded circuit. Okay, last one in the fluid systems, that is process control valve. Process control valve. Okay, here the process control valve means here the process is controlled in a gradual manner, means the opening and opening and closing of the valve is done in a gradual manner. Okay, see this, here we have a controller, this is the valve. Okay, here we are sending some air through controller. Okay, it pushes the valve and it opens the opening. Okay, fluid opening. Okay, the opening is and opening and closing is done with the help of some controller. Okay, here the gradual opening and closing is nothing but the process control valve. Here we have two types of valves. See this, this is normally open valve, means the position of this causes the opening and closes of the port. Here normally closed valve, means already it is closed position. If you push this, that opens the port. Okay, here if you push this, that closes the port. If you push this, it opens the close. So it is called normally closed valve. This is normally open valve. Okay, but the position of this seat is decided with the help of the controller. We are getting signal from the controller that operates the opening and closing of the port, that controls the process. Means we can increase or decrease the speed of the operating system. Suppose we need to control the speed. Okay, we can control the fluid flow by using this valve. This is called process control valve. Okay, means it resists the flow of the fluid. It resists the flow of the fluid. Process control valve is used to resist the flow of fluid. Here we have two types: opening, normally closed. See this. This is normally opening. Already in the open position, the movement of the seat causes the closing of this port. Here normally closed. If you apply the force, the movement of the seat causes opening of the port. Here we are using double also. Okay, normally open, double type, normally open, normally closed, double type. We are using double seated also. This is about process control valve. See this. This is the characteristics of valve. This is the flow rate and stem position. Okay, quick opening and equal percentage of opening and linear. We have three types of operations. For quick opening, the flow rate is increases rapidly. Okay, initially the system position is, stem position is less, the stem position increases, flow is increases exponentially. Okay, linear opening means gradual opening, the relationship between flow and stem position. Okay, some equal percentage of opening. This is the relationship between stem position and flow rate. This is about process control valve. This is about fluid systems. This is about fluid systems. Please, I will unmute you. If you have any doubts, please ask me. It's already 11:47. Sir, unmute yourself. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Hello? Hello, please. Unmute everyone.
సార్ ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కడ ఉపయోగపడతాయి సార్?
ఏమా
ఇప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ చెప్తున్నారు కదా, ఇవి ఎక్కడ ఉపయోగపడతాయి సార్?
ఎక్కడ ఉపయోగపడతాయి అంటే మెకాట్రానిక్ సిస్టమ్ లో ఉపయోగపడతాయి. ఇప్పుడు మెకాట్రానిక్ సిస్టమ్ ఉందా?
అవును సార్.
మెకాట్రానిక్ సిస్టమ్ లో ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ ఒక రోబోట్ ఉందమ్మా, రోబోట్ హ్యాండ్ మూవ్ అవ్వాలి.
అవును సార్.
హ్యాండ్ మూవ్ అవ్వాలంటే లోపల ఏముంటుంది?
మిషన్ పార్ట్స్ ఉండాలి.
మిషన్ పార్ట్స్ లోపల హైడ్రాలిక్ ఆయిల్ కానీ, లేదు సపోజ్ జేసీబీ తీసుకో. జేసీబీ తెలుసా? జేసీబీ హ్యాండ్ మూవ్ అవుతా ఉంటుందా?
అవును సార్.
హ్యాండ్ లోపల ఏముంటుంది?
స్ప్రింగ్ యాక్షన్ ఉంటుంది సార్.
స్ప్రింగ్ యాక్షన్ ఉండదు, ఫ్లూయిడ్ ఉంటుంది.
అవును, అదే ఫ్లూయిడ్ స్ప్రింగ్ యాక్షన్ లో ఉంటుంది.
ఆయిల్ ఉంటుంది కదా, ఆయిల్ ఓపెనింగ్ క్లోజింగ్. ఇప్పుడు ఒకసారి పైకి వెళ్తుంది, ఒకసారి కిందకి వెళ్తుంది, అంటే డైరెక్షన్స్ చేంజ్ అవుతున్నాయి ఆయిల్. అవును సార్. ఆ మూవ్మెంట్స్ అన్ని ఎలా వస్తున్నాయి? ఒకడు ఉంటాడు కదా, లివర్స్ ఆపరేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాడు. అవును సార్. హీ ఈస్ చేంజింగ్ ద పొజిషన్ ఆఫ్ వాల్వ్స్. అవును సార్. ఒకసారి ఒక డైరెక్షన్ లో పంపిస్తాడు ఆయిల్, నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకో డైరెక్షన్ లో పంపిస్తాడు. ఓకే, ఆ డిజైన్ ఎలా చేస్తావు? ఈ సర్క్యూట్స్ గురించి తెలిస్తేనే కదా డిజైన్ చేసేది. ఇప్పుడు నీకు డబుల్ యాక్టింగ్ సిలిండర్ ఉంది, చూసావు కదా, ఆ డబుల్ యాక్టింగ్ సిలిండర్ వాడతాడు. ఒకసారి ఏమో ఒక సైడ్ పంపిస్తాడు ఆయిల్, అప్పుడేమో బ్యాక్ వస్తుంది, అది ఇంకో సైడ్ పంపిస్తాడు, అప్పుడు ఆయిల్ ఫ్రంట్ బ్యాక్ పొజిషన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా.
అవును సార్.
అంతా సర్క్యూట్ వల్లే కదా కంట్రోల్ అయ్యేది.
అంతే సార్. అయితే
ఓకే, ఇవన్నీ అక్కడే యూజ్ అవుతాయి అప్లికేషన్. హలో, ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయమ్మా? బాబు నాకు ఒక్క స్టూడెంట్ అయినా ఉన్నది, 47ఏనా? మిగిలిన వాళ్ళందరూ నిద్రపోతున్నారా లేదంటే నటిస్తున్నారా?